on this episode of Bot vs. Con.
Hey Transformers fans, I'm James the Con.
And I'm Bobby the Bot.
And this is Bot vs. Con, where your voice is heard. And our voices are going to be heard on this episode because we are going to look at the brand new exclusive, Obsidian Blade by, it's very late, Fanshobby. So I'm excited about this. It's a lot better, a little spoiler, in person than what we've been seeing. So I'm excited to share that with you. So stay with us, and we'll look at all of its glory.
All of it. So glorious.
This is Bot versus Con. Make sure to subscribe and consider becoming a member.
And first, let's start off with the packaging. So here's Obsidian Blade, and you can see, first thing, I love the red on this, and the design of this was the design of the figure, and the packaging is done by Get Right Robot. Here's the side view. Here's a little message that it was illustrated by Get Right Robot. Again, you can see all the different modes there.
And it's really reminiscent of like the old packaging we used to see in Transformers, so I do like that.
And side view, top view.
Oh, he's looking at you.
Bottom view. Oh, I guess that's the bottom view. Okay, and now let's go ahead and bring in the figure.
Let's look at him. So this is a black repaint of Energon Wing?
Wing Saber.
Yeah. I think Fanshobby's is in it. So straight repaint, but this actually looks really good in person. All of the different golds and the reds and stuff, all the way down to his feet. I think they did a really good job on the deco. The back has some detail that we'll probably be talking about at on alt mode, but it does clean up still pretty well. There's not a lot of kibble everywhere.
The hang glider on his back.
Yeah, but it's still not bad.
Yeah.
You know.
Thrusters up there.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So, what are your first impressions of this figure?
The first thing is I really like the red. The red looks really good, and especially up on this part here in the chest, it looks very, very good. I was very surprised about
outlined,
that.
Right?
Yeah, I was very surprised about that. I do like the way the blue ties in as well. It's subtle, but it's enough that ties into the Obsidian Commander figure. So I like how they match that up. The black is good. There's, some parts look shiny. Not shiny, but some parts are like a heavy, almost like it has a little polish to it, it looks like.
Yeah.
And then some are a little bit more muted. So it gives it a lot of contrast that I really like.
Yeah, I have to agree. And if I was to have this figure, you can actually turn these around. Because I do think the blue looks better, the blue stripe, with the rest of it. Personally, it brings in the blue to the top half, but it impedes articulation a little bit, which we'll talk about. So there are options on this figure, which we like options on this show. So yeah, I think it's good. Should we go over articulation?
Let's do it.
So the head, if you see, is split in half, so you kind of have to hold it together. But it is what it is. It can only go about that much because, again, it is split in half. You can look up and down. Not amazing articulation on the head. For the shoulders, it has a flap that flips like that, and another flap that flips out like that, which I know I didn't like, and I still don't really like that aspect of this mold. I wish it was designed maybe a little bit better to have the whole shoulder move, but due to transformation, it doesn't do that. And you get 90 degrees, another 90 degrees. Can't go back at all because of transformation as well. You get a bicep swivel, but it does break the sculpt and it is very tight. And then you get more than 90 degrees. What would you say?
Maybe 110?
There you go, 110.
115?
On his arm, wrist swivel, no problem. And hands are the classic MP hands with, oh, they're not. It's actually just one claw. So you get a claw.
And it has the typical rail.
Yes, that's typical of Fanshobby. This surprised me, as he has one of the best ab crunches that I've ever seen on a Fanshobby figure. Here, let's get that arm out of the way. That is pretty impressive. Usually, Fanshobby figures just do that. You know what I mean? It's just a click. It's not like a full ab crunch. And I think that's because these are the joints to the arm. But at the same time, that's really cool. So,
he's closer to touching his toes than I am.
And me too. Hip skirts come out. And what's weird, so this hip skirt right here, you have to flip that down because it is attached to the thigh, not the rest of the waist. Yeah. So because of that, it kind of impedes articulation, but you still get a pretty wide span. You can almost do a full Van Damme, as you say.
Yes.
I'm not going to do it because you have to move too many hip skirts. Moving that out of the way, which would also block thigh articulation because that's right underneath. Very squeaky joint, so you might want to hit that with some lube.
No diddy.
That I didn't say lotion. 90-degree bend and a very nice way to cover up that knee joint. Instead of just having it, two rectangles that break, there's actually an inner joint, which I do appreciate as well. And
look at that sound.
Yeah, pretty good. I think
ankle tilt.
Ankle tilt. Thank you. And I think that's because of the combined.
Oh yeah, feet. Definitely.
So what do you think of the articulation?
It's good for its limitations. I think the way the side hip skirt works, I think that's bad, but it gives it, at least it gives it articulation. A lot of times you'll see figures and they're just like, we're just not going to throw it in there. So I like that they put it in there. I just don't like the way it's done, but I'll take that. Similar with the arms, I don't like that you have to fold up these panels to get the articulation for the arms, but it still looks good with them down.
And you could still move them a little bit,
yeah,
without breaking the sculpt too much, which I was surprised about. I have to agree with you. I think they did a good job with what they had. This figure was a brick originally, no articulation. Maybe the arms moved. So being able to re-engineer it to have articulation, even though it's as limited as that is pretty impressive. And I think it is a good-looking figure. I also forgot to mention, I don't think I mentioned this, he has a toe hinge. So you can get him a little, dynamic, like he's walking or something like that. But it's really not bad. I'm much happier than when they first showed this off. I think I'll be happy to add this to the collection, especially with what we're going to be looking at him over there in a little bit. But yeah, I like it. So why don't we get this thing transformed up and show off the stealth bomber?
Sounds right to me.
I think that's what it is, yeah. So we'll be right back.
Okay, so flying in, we have, what is it? Obsidian Blade, gosh. And,
don't show it from the front like that. Show it from the
sorry, yeah. It's late, as James said. So, it's interesting. It's big.
It is.
Like, this is the size of my arm.
He's doing more than the Van Damme, and that's...
Yeah. So this is... It's very interesting. Let's just take a look. Here's front landing gear, weapons. From the side, it doesn't really do anything. From the back, really doesn't do anything. From the top, I love all the colors. Mm-hmm. Looks really good from the top. Underneath, it looks like a crab that got flipped over. So it's just like, flip me back over. I think the some stuff that I think is cool. So the landing gear just kind of flips in, and the front landing gear splits in half, and I don't know, it's different. I like it.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I like that. The colors look pretty cool. I would have liked to see this red on the front instead of this black. Personally, I wish there was more red. Like, we have the thrusters back here that are red, and it's just all missing here. I would have liked to see that flip. It's fine. It's not my favorite. What are your thoughts?
So, I think it looks good from the top. I love all the different colors, the shades of gray and silver. The red is a little centered on the back. Even the feet have some paint on them. I mean, I guess they're guns in this mode, whatever. I do like these guns do extend to make it look less like the foot. What I don't like about it is all this stuff. I know that's the source material, so I can't get too mad about it, but this just block at the bottom would completely destroy how aerodynamic this thing is. But again, we're talking about Transformers. But honestly, I do like it. It's a kooky, weird, plain thing that would work on Cybertron.
That's true. Yeah.
I do like these big, jet boosters things. I think those look kind of cool, especially with the blue going all the way through. I think that's nice. So, transformation is easy, not overly complicated, and yeah, I think it's okay, but I think this figure was meant for the third mode that we're going to be looking at.
Yeah, and it does have some cool little features, though. There's a firing mechanism.
So right here, these missiles do fire. I'm just going to bend it like this. A trigger right there, and I'm not going to fire them too far, but they are little missiles. So that is very neat, and I do like to see that.
I like to see firing mechanisms.
Yeah, so
they do work. So
yes, they do. That's why I was very careful with it, because if I didn't, I don't think we'd be able to find these missiles. So yeah, I think it's okay.
Yeah,
it looks great. If you could string this up coming down like this, I think that would look really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't go too far. But like this, amazing. So maybe you could cosplay a blade or something as well.
It's in his name.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things you could do with this. So just know what you think about the alt mode down below, and we'll go ahead and combine it. Anything else? Any final words on the alt mode?
Let's get to what we came for.
We'll be right back. And getting into the combined modes, we're going to go over the gun one first, because I think this is the one nobody's going to use. It's so plain, honestly. It's fine. These can't go together. I do like the underslung guns. I think that's really cool. I like the guns on the top. I love the red stripe right here. But that's it. That kills it. I feel like they need to be swapped. And there's nothing that clips in the feet. So I think this was actually an afterthought. And this is not what they were going for. But it's fine. But again, I don't think this is the one anybody's going to put them in.
When we talked about this, I said I like the one with the wings on the back better. So I'm definitely not going for this one. But for the same reasons, I also, honestly, I don't like how the red turns into the blue, or it goes from the blue here to the red to the blue in the chest.
I think that's okay. It's kind of like a stripe, and I'm okay with that.
I don't like the way that looks.
Yeah.
Can you hold it up a little bit? I do like the red here, and again, this is more of a gray panel.
It's like a gunmetal color.
But
these are very weak too.
The cohesion of colors doesn't seem as good to me in this mode, as the others. I really think it's fine. I like this aspect, as you mentioned, but yeah, it just doesn't really do it for me.
Yeah.
In this mode.
Well, let's get into the one that they put some effort into.
Now this is a different story here, and this is where I can see him living. I like the blue on the wings. The red is intentional. It looks like the blue is a little bit more fluid. The blue in the shins. There's not a lot of colors on this side. You do have the red and here, but just from the front view, there's not a lot going on, and I like that. I like that it's more subtle. It
is not more subtle. This one is way more busy.
I don't think so.
With all the stuff on the shoulders.
I don't think so. I think that one, I'm saying like down. I'm talking about down here. The blue is very subtle. It's not like, you know, on the feet, on the legs, you know, everywhere. It's just, you know, this subtle pop of blue here, which is good. You see a lot of black. And then when you get to the chest, it looks like it's more of a...
It highlights the chest.
It does.
Both the arms and the legs are rather simple with just a pop of blue, while all the color is in the chest and the shoulder pads.
Yeah, and this is what I like. And yeah, it looks pretty good, and it, you know, even from the back, it cleans up pretty well. You know, so
yeah, this one has the same problems as the Obsidian Commander with these things just kind of flopping around.
Yeah, so this is how I will actually keep mine. I think this looks good. You want to talk about articulation for your side?
I mean, we can. I don't think it's really worth it. It has the same joints up here. It only goes about that far in our mode. Big swivel. Doesn't bend that well. The knee joints are Obsidian Commander's knee joints, and then the ankles have a crazy amount of articulation to where they're broken. So not the best in articulation.
Yeah, this one, you can hear the ratchets.
It has the same articulation.
Yeah.
The lower legs are almost exactly the same as the main bot.
Yeah, so I really like that. Hand swivel. This whole arm didn't have to swivel, but it's really tight, so that's good. But I can't even...
So that's where the thighs are in the other mode, so they're pretty tight.
Yeah, so they do swivel. Arms go out about that far because it starts interfering with things, and yeah, one more click, there we go, and it starts hitting up against this, and so unfortunately, holding it up in the air, clearly it wants to start coming apart on me. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. As James mentioned, it's kind of the same articulation for the main bot, so I think it looks good. I like the gun toes a little bit better here.
Yeah, and you can extend them if you want, but I don't like that.
That's where he needs to get his nails cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think this is the better mode. It's not perfect, but I do think it'll look good on a Nemesis shelf.
Yeah. So, want to talk about final thoughts?
Sure. What do you think about this?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it probably a 6. Not having a connection to the character hurts it a little bit because I don't know what it's supposed to look like. So I'm only going by what the colors, how the colors look. The colors, you know, are pretty good. They blend very well with the main bot, Obsidian Commander. I think the bot mode is better than I thought it was going to be. The alt mode is big. I like the bigness, the size of it, but there's a lot of things that could have been done to it. The combined modes, I like the wings on it. I like the way the one I showed off looks versus the one James showed off. I'm not too much of a fan of that. So all in all, I give it about a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I do like the paint. It's not the deco where this suffers. It's the core figure itself.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the wing saber to begin with. It's not very articulated, and combined mode is not articulated, but this deco is where it shines through, and that is its saving grace. So I would, as an Nemesis fan, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10, just because of the deco. Now, if we were looking at the normal wing saber, that would be way lower.
Yes.
But there's a lot of effort put in to match this with the Obsidian Commander, and that's where it gets the good graces in my book.
And just to be fair, when I first saw this, I was just like, maybe a 3 out of 10. And then when we interviewed the Chosen Prime, I was just like, oh, okay. maybe a 4.5, 5 out of 10. It looked better, and even now, I might even give it a 7. I'm probably like a 6.5, 7. So, thank you for watching. I mean, we have more to do, so you can see both of our eyes. We're a little.
We're tired.
So, I think that's our final thoughts, and we'll see you on the next review. As always, till all debates are won. See you next time.
See you then.